What's happening, guys? My name's Theo Goff, host of the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. And today I want to do an episode on how to face challenges and how to approach them when they keep on happening, when you don't know the solution and when people around you sometimes, not believing in you, and how to really overcome those as a dyslexic. So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe, where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be? Or in other words, conquer their dyslexia. That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. What's happening, guys? So, how to overcome challenges, especially these dyslexic challenges that we face day to day. And to be honest, I've been thinking about doing an episode like this for a while. And it's a bit about me just being 100% honest with where I am and the challenges I am facing right now, and what approaches I'm taking to overcome them, or approaches I'm taking to carve my way forward in this journey that I'm on. And we're all on our own little journey of doing our things, of overcoming our challenges, of like understanding what is life like, who am I, what do I want in life, and the journey is to kind of get there. And I always think it's a consistent journey, Like, we set our paths on, who we are, we define ourselves with, who we are as a person, what do we want out of life, and most of the time, 99% of the time, we do it all subconsciously. We do it all, we don't really take time to think about, to write it down, and to understand the effects that other things have in our life. And because we do it subconsciously, right, we know what we want, but we don't take a lot of time to sit down and decide it. And then going about that can come up with some challenges. Then how we approach those challenges and how we think about and how we deal with those challenges really dictate our life way much more than the challenges itself. Because I remember there's this quote that was so cool. It's like that. There's loads of other similar ones, but there's one by Tony Robbins about problems, and he says that the biggest problem is that people think they shouldn't have them. Meaning, we always have problems. And there's another quote, there's another guy called Jim Rohn said, the only people that have problems are the people in the cemetery. Because they're dead, they have no problems. When you're alive, you have problems. When you're alive, you have challenges. And that's just it is. And you think, if I get that thing, if I get that money, if I get that job, I'll have no problems. If I don't have dyslexia, I'll have no problems. That's not true. You're always going to have problems. But the difference is you have different quality of problems. It's like having a problem, what am I going to eat today? I want to get a roof over my head, my health. And these are really big problems. Really, really big problems and really big challenges. Like, your health, how you can survive, your family's health. And these things are really core. Your family's health, your family's mental and physical health. Those problems are really big, really bad. And we can compare that problem to every problem financially. The financial problem does not seem as big anymore. And can compare the awful financial problem to a problem of that people have nowadays in the Western world, of getting to work on time, of traffic, of people saying mean things, people not treating them the way they want to be treated. And when you actually look at the problems that people are dealing with in today's society, like day to day, the problems that I'm facing, that you're facing, I hope that it's not the life-threatening problems to yourself or the families or the ones you love. So chances are the problems that we're facing aren't massively high-level problems, aren't life or death situations. And loads of times I feel it's very important to have perspective on our problems. Whether it's our so common problems we're facing with dyslexia, like organisation, like having people understand us, like getting to places on time, like you mean completing our work, and for people not to find out that we can't do certain tasks, and worried that people find out that we're dyslexic, and people think, oh, we're dumb, we're stupid, having this baggage from the past about people who said things, people who've done things, and we're scared and we feel not enough. These problems are bad. They are bad. But when you put this into perspective of life or death situations, of having a disease that only means you can live up to the age of 15, up to the age of 20, really young. Having like that problem compared to the problem of, you mean like being very physically disabled, or having one of your family members that you have to look after very physically disabled. Because I remember my mum always used to say to me, saying, yes, you got dyslexia. Well, at least you got dyslexia. At least you're so lucky to have dyslexia. Compare that to not being able to walk. Compare that to not being able to go to the toilet by yourself. Compare that with having a low life expectancy. I mean, those problems, compare those problems to dyslexia. I would take dyslexia any day. I'll take dyslexia any day for no problems compared to no problems, because that's the way I am. I love having it. And so I think when you look at problems, you've got to look at perspective saying, like, our problems aren't that bad. And I got this thing that's really, really interesting. I learned this thing. There's a study that happened. I'm trying to remember it. But it's basically where they would give these people a screenwrite. They would get all these people, like a test, like to judge all these screenwrites, and they'd go through all these screenwrites, and read them and look at them, and they want us to judge them. They asked like a couple hundred people to do this and judge them, saying, are they too? Are they too rude? Are they too nasty? Are they too sort of like inappropriate? And basically what they'd done at the start, like they put like 1 in every 3 screenwrites was inappropriate, nasty, and all that kind of stuff. And so people judged it as so say, this one's nasty, this one's nasty. But after the 30-odd screenwrite, where they would change it up, like some nasty ones, some okay ones, they'd only put okay ones. They wouldn't put any nasty ones in. But the people judging those still said that these ones were nasty, these ones were horrible, when the screenplays, when the scripts weren't that bad. And this happened again and again and again and again. And what this test proved is that people always look for problems. It's like the hierarchy of problems. It's like they deal with the most important problem, and it always goes down, goes down, goes down, goes down, goes down. Because, back 100 years ago, there were loads of other problems that was so much more worse than the problems we have today. Like, more than 100 years ago, problems with food, problems with safety, problems with all these other things. That's real problems. That's what we focused on. But nowadays, like little problems can seem so much like what other people think of us, like how other people are acting. And I'm not saying this to say, oh yeah, these are really bad, or you shouldn't feel bad from these. I'm saying this to be aware of. This is how they work. We're human beings. We look for problems all the time. It's so easy to look for what's wrong in our world. And it's so hard to look for what's right in our world. And I'm basically sat here and giving myself advice in a sense. Because to be totally brutally honest with you, I'm still in Thailand. I'm still technically teaching kids English. And my sort of situation I'm in now, because of COVID, none of the kids are at school, and I'm in this town in the middle of nowhere, and I go to a school full of Thai teachers, and no one there speaks very good English at all, and I don't speak very good Thai. I try and learn Thai. It's very hard for me to learn Thai. I'm still trying. But anyway, I'm at this school, and they don't know very good English, and it's very hard. Very hard. Like, I'm at the school, we're supposed to be there for 40 hours a week, and for about 4 of those hours, I'm doing something. And for about 32 of those hours, 36 of those hours, I'm not doing anything. and yet they still expect you to be there for those times. And I think it's quite hard for me to be in that environment and then to not speak, not see it, because I'm just saying this is how it feels. It feels like there's no room for growth, there's no activity, and feel like it's just kind of suffocating in a sense. And last couple of days I've been a bit down because of that. But here's how you approach it. First thing I say, and I say this on the phone, is that I like it. Is that in a sense this is good. Because problems, suffering, like when you're struggling, when you don't know how to find a solution, I know that when things get really, really hard, this is when you find a solution. This is when things work. This is when kind of like growth happens in a sense. Because if things are happy and fine dandy all the time, there'll be no growth. There'll be no expansion. Think about when you face your massive problems you had with dyslexia. You faced it head on, you worked really hard at it, and you overcame it. Overcoming that problem gives you more of life, gives you more skills, gives you a better quality of life than if you didn't have those problems, because you wouldn't have faced that skill, if that makes sense, guys. So number one, I'm not unhappy that's happening. Of course it sucks. Of course it's painful. Of course I don't like it, but I'm not unhappy that it's happening. That's the first thing. Second thing is that, okay, what are my solutions? I know I'm going to be here for the next 9 weeks. I know that I can't leave. I'm not really supposed to leave. I know that. Okay, how can I make this better? Okay, I can work on my relationships with them. I can try and learn Thai better. I can try and interact with them a lot more. Be a bit more smiley. Because I kind of feel like all the times where I have no idea what's going on any time, and they all know what's going on. I've not a clue. Anyway, and it's just, okay, how can I approach these challenges? How can I like it? What can I learn from this? And so asking these questions on a repeated basis makes it better. And I'm not against having challenges. I'm not against struggling through this. It's like, okay, how am I going to solve this? And I think this approach really helps me. And that's kind of like what I want to get out, like what I want to say is that we're all facing challenges. And yes, we're facing, if you're on your journey of conquering dyslexia, on your journey with challenges, we're all facing challenges. But here's my number one rule. We're facing challenges, it's okay, but my number one rule is this. It's always my responsibility. It's always what I make of it. My challenge is my responsibility. It's always up to me to make it better. No one else. Not going to put the blame on anyone else. I'm in the situation because of me. And yes, it's hard. It's hard because I'm making it hard. And if I do different things, it wouldn't be as hard. Of course, it's not ideal. Life's not ideal. But the only way I can make it better is by taking full responsibility of the problem. And that's how we've got to face our dyslexia, guys. The moment my life changed is when I realized I didn't get here. Life change is that ultimately I got here because of the actions I've done. I've got to take responsibility. And the only way I can get to where I want to get to is by doing different things. It's by taking responsibility of my own actions, of the power that I have. Because that's it. That's all we have in life, guys. All we have in life is ourselves. All we have in life is our actions we take. And what dictates our life is not our circumstances. It's our decisions that we make. That's so true, guys, when we're facing these challenges. And oftentimes we can get caught into believing the myth that dyslexia is done to us, that we can't decide, that we have no leverage, we can't change things. It is the way things are. People can bully us. We have limited potential because of our dyslexia. We can't do these things will always be hard. We can sometimes buy into the myth that our dyslexia makes us have less potential. That's so not true, guys. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you don't mind me ranting a bit about how things are going, because I want to be consistent, I want to be true and authentic to you guys all of the time. Anyway, have a good day, guys. I'll see you again soon. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Now, I got something really exciting I want to share with you. Over the last 5 years, I've been absolutely obsessed with learning everything I can about dyslexia and how they can overcome their challenges and maximize their strengths. And I've been spending many hours on many days scouring the internet to find solutions to the problems. And I found many solutions. So over quarantine, I was thinking, what if I scour the internet again. What if I go through every last resource that I've been through before and take everything that's useful and put it into one place? And that's how I filled up a lot of my time in quarantine. I scoured the internet and found all the most inspirational, all the most informational, all the most useful videos about dyslexia out there and put them all into one place, so you don't have to waste time scouring the internet to find solutions to your problems, so you know there's only one place to go. And this thing I created is called the Dyslexia Black Book. You can get it at conqueringdyslexia.net/black book. Now, I'm wanting to offer this to you and present this to you completely for free because I want to save you time. I want to save you time, so scouring the internet and not finding the answers like I've done. If you go to conqueringdyslexia.net/black book, Conquering Dyslexia Black Book, you'll find it. Or guys, you can just click the link in this episode description to find it. But yeah, guys, that's the special message I wanted to share with you today.